Hello, and welcome to TGM Production. Today is the long-awaited Omnibus, which we haven't done in 3 weeks, but due to an error with the camera, this has been an Omnibus, and due to the way that this is filmed, this might be at a wonky angle, and TGM Production would like to apologise. They have tried to fix it, but it's not worked at all. Now, the video you're about to watch is a two-parter that Will might say in the two-parter that it will never be an omnibus, but sadly, due to errors upon my control, it is an omnibus. Now, we also like to say that this video is a two-parter called The Truth, which is all about a snippet of an article that from the Doctor Who magazine that went around the internet talking about Russell T Davies's potential departure from the show and the magazine. And I talk about how you have to take it with a pinch of salt because not all the facts are always accurate, and that is only because it's only half the article that was shared. And that was the only half the article, so we need to make sure that we take it all with a pinch of salt and that we know what's true and what's not and what's been fabricated, because that's what the internet has got an issue with at the moment. A lot of things might be fabricated, but I think the videos explain a lot, and I think it just tells the truth and tells the story of what I want. But wait, hang on a second. Is someone trying to say something? Oh, hello. What do you want?
Well, what I want to say to the viewers is that,
What do you want to say?
well, it's... no. Can I whisper it to you?
Yes. You're too shy to say that you forgot to put the camera in charge and that you don't want TGM to be blamed for something that's your fault. And you also want to say that it's your fault that an omnibus is being made and that you're never going to do that again. But the issue we've got, and I don't even know why I'm saying this, but why did you not tell me earlier that the camera wasn't on charge? Because you forgot to say, because you were too busy having a rave to Yes Sir, I Can Boogie.
Yes, sir, I can boogie. Oh, I need a sandal song. Oh, boogie, woogie, all night long. Do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
I don't want you to go do. What I want you to do, is I want you to do what you're supposed to do. No, you're not a pet. No, you're an evil villain, thank you very much. But you're here, on the full presidency of You All Be Evil, to do one job and make sure the camera is fully charged. And to make sure, and is it your fault that this is wonky? Yes, it is. How is it your... Hang on. How has that happened? You're telling me that you're nervous, and you thought, I'll talk like Sooty and really annoy the viewers because I'm not going to hear what you said and assume that I'm saying everything for you and I'm putting words in your mouth. And really, all you've done is forgot to put the camera on charge, and you forgot to make sure that this shot isn't wonky, because I'm filming it on a cinematic mode on an iPhone because all the other cameras are dead, and because I'm not 100% sure if 30 frames out the 4K is better than the 24 frames, or... No, I don't need to talk about complicated things. You, Trashik, yes, I'm going to say this, you need to get a grip. You need to get your work done and get it done correctly, or else I'll have a word and TGM might fire you. So, I don't make the rule. Well, I don't make the rules that you're going to know about. No, don't say that. Whoa, no. We are, if you remember, a family-friendly production company. We don't need a language like that. Luckily, you whispered it to me instead of saying it out loud, because Otherwise, there'll be consequences. No, yes, I know you're evil, and I know that's the whole point of you, but no. I have trained you to be nice.
What? What? Have you?
Yes, I have trained you to be nice, and I've also trained myself to know that I can't do ventriloquism, and that's why I'm not trying to do ventriloquism.
But you are trying to do ventriloquism.
I know, but not right now, am I?
Yes.
I'm right. You know Harry Hill,
Yes.
and you know how he has that puppet. I'm not saying you're a puppet. You're a muppet, but not a puppet. He has what's it called, Gary?
Yes.
Well, you're that. You're my Gary.
Oh.
So he can't do ventriloquism. I can't ventriloquism. I can't even say the word, it seems. But you, Drashik, an evil villain from the sci-fi science fiction program Doctor Who, right, are gonna get a grip. Yes. So what I want you to do in your loudest voice is I want you to say to the viewers, I'm so sorry that this has happened. Never happen again. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
I'm so sorry. This will never happen again. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Right, are you gonna go now? I do apologise about that there. I didn't expect Jurassic to pop up out the blue. And personally, I'm not going to be angry with him for long because it's not his fault. Because I can't find a tripod attachment for the phone. We're bouncing on the end of a tripod, so I was looking for it. He didn't help me look for it, and this is where we're at. So, without further ado, please enjoy the truth.
BBC Hooniverse.
Hello and welcome to a brand new two-parter. This is because both cameras have now died, so we're filming it on cinematic mode on my phone. So this is where I will talk about the initial words and what's been said, and then I'm going to do in the second part properly in the proper setup. I will talk about my thoughts and my feelings because we've got time to work out whether or not that is the truth. So let's begin. So in DWM, Doctor Who magazine, Russell T Davies made this statement. Now, this is part of an article which I've not yet read, so I don't know how accurate or truthful this is, because I found this online. Everyone's been making videos and talking about this and all this, that and the other, so we have to take this with 100% pinch of salt. So whatever you believe to be the truth, please just consider until we get an official announcement or until we all see the full length of the article. Then that's when we can make a judgment whether or not it's the truth or not. So, here's what it says. We don't know what's happening yet, and whilst everyone works that out, I'll take a pause on this page. Thank you for reading. Thank you for DWM, a delight to work with you on this wonderful magazine. Hopefully, we'll have some news soon, and certainly the war between the land and the sea is about to break out, so there's great things ahead. So, to me, that sounds like Russell is saying, right, I know that there's an uncertainty on the future of Doctor Who. I know that no one's announced anything. I know that we made a mistake. Not working out Series 3 before we decided on the ending, but we do know that we've got a spin-off coming and I need to take a break whilst we try and figure this out. And on a personal note, to me, that makes a lot of sense, and it makes sense that that's what's happened, it makes sense what that is happening, and it makes sense of what will happen. Do I think that it's the truth? Probably not. There's probably a lot more wording above and below it to say that he's not backing out. It's just this is taking a break rather than what it sounds like he's leaving. So I don't really. I think it's a 50-50. Until I see the full article, I won't entirely know whether or not it's true or not. When looking at the information we were given in our previous film, we have to discuss, and you have to sort of say, right, that doesn't mean he's leaving Doctor Who. It doesn't mean he said this show's cancelled. It doesn't mean any of that. Whilst things are going on, which deals, money and all that, he wants to take a step back because he's a writer, he's a creative, and when you get a roadblock in an idea as a creative, as I know, you sort of want to step away from it for a while whilst it's been solved, to then generate new ideas and concentrate on new projects whilst other projects are currently in the balance of whether or not they're working or not. And I think that what Doctor Who and what Russell is trying to say is he needs time to prepare, he needs time to contemplate what's going on, and he doesn't want to give an official word because it's not his protocol to do so. So, trying to poise him, going, "Oh, is there a third series? Is there a third series? It's not going to work because A, he might not know the answer, and even if he does know the answer, he's probably not legally allowed to say, because that isn't how the business works, really. So I think that this doesn't say too much and doesn't say too little, and a lot of people online are sort of reading too much into it. This is why I wanted to make it a two-parter, so I can really discuss the fact that you have to take it all with a pinch of salt. You have to go, right, this is what has been said, but this is what people are using as the truth. And when you read the full article, there's probably more context around that, and it probably doesn't mean what everyone thinks it means. So I think that that's the only issue with people releasing these snippets, because you get what's happened, and this is why I called it the truth question mark, because if I was doing a Who News, I would confirm that it's true, but I don't know if it's true. Without reading the full article, I wouldn't be able to be really confident that it's true, but I wanted to talk about it because you sort of have to look at it with a optimistic eye. You sort of have to look at it and go, right, so it might not be true, but what I can gather from that is saying that the war between the land and the sea is going to be amazing, and that Russell doesn't want to be overloaded with the same question, so wants to sort of not have the final say over the Doctor Who magazine, which is what it comes across as. I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think he has the final say in it, which is fair enough, to be fair. He has the final say over the show itself, but I think you just don't need to read too much into it, because you have to look at it with that subjective eye going, but this is how people manipulate, this is how the press manipulates stuff. He might have said it out of context, and then the press are going to go, well, that's him done, he's leaving, bye-bye, bye-bye. And we don't want that, because that does create negative headline, and it means the show is more unlikely to return, because of the negative press around the whole thing. And if he wanted to leave, then official announcement would come from the BBC Press or the Doctor Who official accounts online, saying Russell T Davies has decided to step away from the TARDIS, and all that would happen officially. And I know that Doctor Who magazine is official and there's nothing wrong with it. I just think the quote that's been shared around online might not be as accurate, because we only get that section of the article, we don't get the full article. So I'm not saying that it's anything of Doctor Who magazine's fault, I'm just saying it's the way that people interpret it, because they've got it early, and this is how it's been interpreted. So I do think we all just need to be a lot more careful, so that when you read the full article for yourself, without sharing it online, then you've got a better understanding of where that quote is coming from, rather than just a snippet of the quote, which isn't what anyone wants, because you want the full story. Because someone a writer, and there's no credit of who wrote this article, a writer who spent ages, months and months and months and ages writing this one article. So you sharing it online early isn't great, but sharing only that snippet without the context, like a sentence or two before and after, doesn't really help the cause. But it just makes it more, oh no, what's going on? Oh no, what's going on? And we really need to step away from that. We just need to get the facts and get the facts straight, and then only go into panic mode if it's official by the BBC or official by any of the official Doctor Who channels, or it's a front cover story on the Radio Times or the Doctor Who magazine, and not just a quote that might have been taken out of context. No one knows how this image has been altered. So we just have to take everything with a renewed sense of optimism. You have to take everything with a pinch of salt, and you also have to take it with the sense of this might not be true, this might not be as accurate as you're saying, this might not be the definitive article, if you will. This might not be the done deal, and that's what we all need to be more careful with. And so, on that note, because this is only part 2, because part 1 was supposed to be it, but then my camera died, my other camera died, and I was using my phone, and at that point I was running out of time to film it, but I wanted to get the initial point across early enough so that I was getting all the original people that were watching these videos and searching this stuff up to get my initial opinion out there. But this is the final version of it. This is my official opinion. There'll be no omnibus attached to this at all, because you have to look at this and go, right, so this is Tom's really sensible opinion on the matter, and this film shows that he agrees with his own opinion, because you can't always say things are true if you only get a certain amount of it. You have to. It's like saying we don't know if Billie Piper is the Doctor. The press might say she's the next Doctor, but because nothing had been officially confirmed, you can't take that as truth. So if you get a relative saying, "Did you know that Billie Piper is playing the new Doctor?" No, that's not the truth. So I had a scenario where someone said to me, I can't remember who, but someone said, "Oh, have you seen the announcement of the new Doctor?" And at that point, there was 4 different rumours going around, and I couldn't work out which rumour they meant. And so what had happened is you then had to go, right, I understand that the press are not very good at saying, this is what's rumoured actor to be the next Doctor. Or they go with, the one that really stands out is, it's the Sin star, Ollie Alexander is the next Doctor, and it's like, that's not true, that's just a rumour, and that's someone somewhere will have hoped for that, mentioned it online, and that's what we all have to take into consideration and make sure they're aware that that's what will happen. So it'll get around and people then assume it's true at that point because 4 different newspaper sources have said it. Now, the Sun sometimes reports on things that are true, but you have to look at it going, I mean, the world of Doctor Who, you have to look at it and go, it's rumours. So the whole this, because we haven't seen the full article, we don't know what is 100% accurate, unless one of the people that have uploaded videos onto the internet with them talking about this has got the full Doctor Who magazine and reading the whole article. Just take everything with a pinch of salt, because you don't know what's true, you don't know what's fabricated, and we just need to make sure that we only speculate on the truth, not the half-truth that might have been given. I might be wrong, that whole quote might have been factually accurate, and that might be the truth, but because it's come from the internet and not from the official magazine itself, as in you've not had the full article photoed, you've had that one quote, you sort of have to just sort of question whether or not it's real or not. And so, on that note, I'd like to say thank you, and hopefully that the message got across. So I'm not saying that it's the Doctor Who magazine's fault. It's not to do with Doctor Who magazine, it's just to do with the fact of where the quote was come from on an online point of view, because I know that if they've done an article with Rusty Davis, that'd be brilliant, that'd be amazing. I can't wait to read that. But the quote that's been circulating online is what I'm talking about, rather than the article. So I'm not saying that it's the writers or the magazine's fault. I'm just saying where it's come from online. We just have to be wary because we haven't seen the full article just yet. Or we might have seen the article, but the bit I've seen and the bit I've seen circulated isn't the full article. And I do think that just needs to happen before we all speculate on whether or not that's accurate or not. Bye-bye. Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel